Welcome to Heavy Metal Monday.
Hey, it's Mike Pagulong coming here live from Varsity House Gym. Welcome back to another edition of Heavy Metal Monday. Okay guys, so today I'm going to bring you a conditioning exercise that we do here a lot with our guys. We do it mostly with our athletes. There's some adult clients I've done it with before, just for some fun and some heart rate work, but we do it a lot with our younger athletes, high school and college athletes, and that is called the tread sled. The tread sled is great for conditioning, getting the heart rate up. Really great for that interval type training where you're trying to work really hard for a set time, get a set about like 10 to 15, 20-second break, go back into it hard again. It's great for football players. It kind of mimics the play clock and the play, plays that last anywhere between, let's say a play lasts anywhere between 6 to 12 seconds, right? Then you get that play clock, you get that, I believe the play clock is 35 seconds, so you get your break, and you're right back in and hitting hard again. So it kind of really mimics that interval type training. It's also great for just driving, right? Driving those knees up, learning how to run with power because you have to get the belt moving. But today what we're going to do is an incline, right? It's a variation I've been doing a lot. We have one of the old school tread sleds, and I'm going to bring it up slightly on elevation. I'm going to put two 45-pound bumper plates on it. It's going to increase the height a little bit of the tread sled. It's going to make it a little bit harder. You're going to be fighting up that gravity a little bit. And, it's just a cool variation. And make sure you check that out. And at the end of my show, make sure you stay tuned for my heavy metal album of the week. Let's do it. Okay guys, so that was the incline tread sled. Unfortunately, I had to do it today. I didn't have anybody to come in and help me out. And I just did 2 rounds of 10 seconds you saw there. I did a high variation and I did the lower middle variation. To be honest with you, I've never even attempted, there's a third handle on the bottom. I don't really know or never seen anyone actually do that. I don't even know how you could possibly do the bottom handle, but the middle one actually felt a little bit easier for me to get the belt moving. It seems like it'd be harder than the higher one, but the middle one actually seemed like I was able to be a little bit more fluid with my strides. I did 2 rounds there, 10 seconds. Heart rate was going up very high. I like to do with my athletes, depending on how many people I have on there. I try not to have anything more than 5 athletes per tread sled. And if I'm working for, say, 10 seconds of hard work, that means when they come off, they have 4 guys in front of them. That means they get about a 40-second break, give or take, and they're back on. So anything more than that, the break is probably too long. If I do have a lot more guys on there, I'll be giving them something else to do. So some sort of maybe a jump rope or TRX row or just something to keep themselves occupied and keep that heart rate up a little bit so they don't cool down too much, okay? Because I don't really want the rest breaks to be too long. But we'll do anywhere between 6 to 15 rounds on that thing, depending on your ability and how good in shape you are. That's a brutal machine. Not too many, people look at it sometimes, they have no idea what it is. It's called AKA the hamster wheel, people call it. But you saw I had the incline up on that thing. And I think the incline, even though I think it makes the exercise a little bit harder because you are kind of fighting uphill a little bit, you're fighting that gravity a little bit, but it also at the same time, I think improves the smoothness of the belt because that it is on the incline. So, well, also, with the tread sled, the reason why we do it as much as we do it a lot for heart rate work, but driving, okay, stride length power. When you're teaching some of the young guys to run, you want them to learn how to drive into the ground and develop force into the ground, into their next stride. And what's great about the tread sled is it's going to really engage your glute and hamstrings a lot because it's like a man-made treadmill. You have to keep the belt moving. So if your strides are real choppy and not having the ball of your foot drive into it and then return back up, you can really engage the hamstring. You're kind of curling that heel in and then bringing that knee back out in front of you, and you're really creating a good stride length and a lot of power in your stride length. So I'll do this a lot with my female athletes, a lot with my younger athletes, just to get them used to using their glutes and their hamstring activation to learn how to run and get some drive and some power. Sometimes we'll do like a 5-second real hard tread sled run, and boom, we'll head to the turf and do like a hard 10-yard get up sprint. So we just keep incorporating that power into the ground. So I think it's a great tool to have. There aren't a lot of gyms that do have it. We have one of the old school ones. We use it a lot here. It's a great machine to utilize, and I really think you guys should give it a shot. Give it a shot for yourself. It's great to condition with as well. So that's it, guys. That's the Incline tread sled. Okay, so now it's on to my heavy metal album of the week, and today we're going to do a band Avenged Sevenfold, and the album we're going to do is Nightmare. This album, I think to me personally, is one of their best albums. They came out with this album in 2010. Unfortunately, their drummer passed away before this album was made. So when they made this album, there was definitely some type of darkness to this album, and the songs really kind of have a little bit of a dark feel for it. But it was really unfortunate that had to happen. And but the lead singer and the band themselves really turned it into a great album and a good tribute to him as well. And it also, unfortunately, that did happen. They went out and they got a new drummer, and the drummer they got for this album is one of my top 5 drummers in the world, and that's Mike Portnoy. And Mike Portnoy was the drummer for Dream Theater, which we've talked a lot about here, and I think he's one of the all-time best drummers of all time. So they brought on Mike Portnoy onto this album. He did the album Nightmare with them. It's a really killer album. I got to see them with Disturbed a few years ago when they were on the tour for this album. And what was cool was Disturbed was kind of on their way out for like a hiatus, and Avenged Sevenfold was really kicking butt, and they opened up they were the band before Disturbed came out, and everyone said that they kind of were the highlight of the show. They really stole the show. So and then Disturbed took a break for a few years now. They came out with a new album. They're back on tour, but they've been Avenged Sevenfold is a really cool band, man. I really like them a lot. I look forward to seeing them again. They have a lot of great albums out there, but today we're talking about Nightmare. Mike Portnoy, my favorite drummer, is on this album. It's a killer album. Make sure you go check it out, guys. That's all I got today for you. Make sure you check out the album Nightmare by the band Avenged Sevenfold. Incline tread sled. If you got a tread sled in there, it's a really cool variation to do with your athletes and with yourself. So, guys, if you got any questions for me, make sure you give them to me as soon as you can. Make sure you check us out here at varsityhousegym.com. I'll see you guys all next week. And until then, stay heavy.